had everything, and I was absolutely broken inside. And I kept it all together enough to where I would never let you down, but I kept it too much together to where I let myself down.
According to the nationalcouncil.org, over 70% of adults have experienced some kind of trauma. And over 33% of children have also been exposed to community violence and will experience some post-traumatic stress from it.
Where have you been? 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 Where have...
Hey guys, and welcome to WBC Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and leave your comments. When we talk about healing from trauma, does it look like an apology, therapy, or just time?
It's a good question you got there. So how about this? Can you truly love someone if you're still healing from past wounds?
Well, I don't think you can truly love someone just because if that person is the one who's done it, then you have a hard time staying in that relationship. But if it's a past situation in a relationship, let's say, for instance, I just recently out of a situation where there was some physical abuse and it left some trauma on me. So, it can be hard to trust the next person. You want to fill them out, but you also have some telltale signs, and you start to realize certain type of personality. So in those situations, but I'm gonna say we need to definitely heal first. So you do need that time frame in between. But it is very, very difficult to be in another relationship. Some people just bounce from relationship to relationship. Some people can't even be lonely, but that's a whole nother story. Trauma can happen in any setting. So what's your take on it?
Even with that question, can you truly love someone with past wounds? That's pretty much, I'm on a fence with it, only because it's one of those things. If you don't love yourself, you can't love someone else. That's kind of hypocritical to me. But if I do have past wounds where it's like, mommy hurt me, or daddy hurt me, or our family let me down, or even a man I thought I was in love with let me down, can I love someone else? Yeah, because they'll be doing something different, which will push me to love them gradually, not full openly, but gradually I'll be learning to love them. I just wouldn't be able to receive their love as openly as they would want me to because of being hurt. It would be that problem, because I'm used to being hurt, or I'm used to going through these things. I wouldn't too much recognize like it was a bad relationship, what a good man is. If someone was trying to be a mentor, like, people get like second moms or second dads, I wouldn't be able to embrace that because I wouldn't be used to that. Or even if a job was trying to do me right, I wouldn't even be able to walk into that purpose because I'm used to that other job clocking me, putting me down, overlooking me. So when someone was giving me praises, because I'm used to them past traumas, I wouldn't be able to receive it. But as far as loving someone else, I think you can, because if you put yourself out there, I believe you could love someone else. I just don't think you'll be able to receive it back as open.
Yeah.
But,
that sounds all good, but I like that point you brought up about work. Like, some people don't even realize that they've been traumatized from past work experience. They don't even realize that when they're not used to it and they're thinking all this negative stuff in their head because of the trauma they had been exposed to. They don't even realize that either it's a blessing from God, number one, and number two, a different phase in your life that you should be accepting, but yet you go into it with this whole negative mindset, and you're not even understanding that you are dealing with some trauma. And some people try to move away from that, and then they don't even think that, I might need someone to talk to. They hold it in. Do you think, like, a lot of times people do need somebody to talk to? or should they just stay private, or they don't need counseling? Do you think everybody might need counseling every now and then? I mean, because everybody don't run to church, they don't read the Bible, they don't do a lot of things. And not saying that everyone's wrong, it's just that a lot of times they don't know the truth or understand. And if they're not taught something along the way, they don't know. They're not exposed to that. So, okay, let's just bring in let's just say counseling and speaking to a physician. Do you think they need to do that? Like every now and then that helps?
Of course, because healing is a process, not a destination. You're not going to go to Healing Avenue and just grab some healing. And it has to be a destination that you're willing to get on your journey. So I remember it was a thing where it's like black people, I'm not doing therapy. That's not for me. I'm not telling my business, had them talking to me or paying them, and all they doing is just doodling on paper because, you know, we used to them shows. You see the therapist, they done drew a whole picture, and it's like, dang, they're not really talking to them. However, it is that is a form of recovery. Go into therapy. I would encourage people to go to therapy. Me myself, it'll probably make me sound hypocritical because I did not try therapy, and I didn't try therapy because I looked at the prices and was like, you bugging, not knowing that, you know, some that come with your insurance. But I was just putting money on my health, and that's no excuse. And I wouldn't even advise a person to even think how I was thinking, because why would you cheat yourself? You're supposed to treat yourself. So if you know it's clouded up there and you need that help, and you know the saying, hurt people hurt people. So if you hurt, why would you want to hurt someone else when you can help yourself? Don't be sitting in there with all this caged up emotions and giving someone else those traumas of yours, because they don't deserve that. And bad enough, you don't deserve that.
No, everybody's not perfect. Everybody's not thinking this way, right? So what about those that are in their stubborn mindsets? They just stubborn. They don't want to hear nothing. They don't think they're wrong. Such as a narcissistic character. They don't think they're wrong in any situation, or they don't think they're dealing with the situation to begin with. And one thing I do hate, okay, I'm gonna use the strong word hate, is when a person can tell exactly, because you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a situation where you're traumatizing me even more if you're going to tell me that my problem is due to somebody else in my past that you don't even know about. You don't even know what I dealt with. But I'm dealing with you and your mess. And I'm constantly crying out and telling you, you got problems that you're causing. Yes. And I'm not just pointing a finger, but I'm just basically letting you know, like, there's some issue here we're dealing with. And the relationship is not going to go in the right direction if you don't understand that there's a problem I have with you, and I'm trying to let you know this. I wouldn't let you know this if I felt like it was me. I'm just sit here and act like nothing going on. But I'm letting you know, so that's obviously telling you something. But then if you want to sit there and talk about, oh, your problem is somebody must have did you wrong. Hello, you. So, like, what's up with that? Is a woman like really actually, is she toxic and crazy like the last conversation we had? Or is a man, I ain't even gonna say woman because this can go both ways. Is a man toxic and crazy because he's telling his woman, I have a problem, and she just throwing it to the side, whatever, I'm gonna go cook dinner. Whatever, you ain't got no problem with me. It ain't me. I know I'm perfect.
So look at this, sis, because it's like, you know, people got to forget, like, you have an option to earn your journey, right? So notice you can take your time. So with that being said, a guy or even a woman, like you said, this can be reverse role with the genders right here. So back to what you were saying. If he's trying to speak to you in his language or trying to do for you how he feel he wants to treat his lady and be there for his lady, and you're not reciprocating or receiving it the way he's trying to do it, and his response is, well, I don't know, dang, bro, I'm not saying you didn't hurt me, but I just don't like it like that, or I don't want you to talk to me like that. You know, it don't have nothing to do with my past. This got something to do with you. You made me mad. You talk to me like this, I don't like it, or you do certain things I'm not with. This got nothing to do with my past. Because sometimes your past could have been great, and you talking about my past, you get petty and be like, well, I'm gonna go back to my past. But you know, it can be that in this type of sense. Then sometimes, you know, it's even like with a guy being like, oh, you must be on your period. You ever got one of
Mm.
those before to be talking about
Yeah.
my period? Oh, so you know
Exactly.
what it is. I mean, you can have sisters, you can have girlfriends, you can have a mom, and that's great. But you just know, you don't, you know.
Their-
I want to
their-
say
their
experience, you
relationship.
dealt with it, but you don't know from the relative of the sense. You don't really know, and that make me think about
Exactly.
what did it make me think? It made me think about you. If we do
Yeah.
talk about the relationships, right? I read up something on
Mhm.
Psych Central. It was saying like studies show that it takes like at least 18 months to get over a relationship, right? And then you thinking you over it, but let's face reality, people. Some of us might still be in healing mode. We're not officially over it. And no, I don't agree with jumping into another relationship, but let's be real here. Some of us jump into other relationships, but do we do it because we lonely? You said that. Do we do it because we lonely? Are we afraid to be alone? So, like the study shows that it takes 18 months to heal on a breakup. Some of us still be in healing mode. Sometimes 18 months not enough. Some of us jump right in a month after we broke up. Our shoe, they outside.
Yeah, I mean,
45 minutes later. Are they afraid to be alone? They need attention.
now that's the question. That's the question with time to heal. How much time do we need to heal? About how much time? We don't even know.
From what though?
But
From what? What we healing from?
whatever it is we dealing with, but I'm gonna say when it comes to that time frame of healing, that's mainly, well, the forefront of it, relationships, because a lot of times people need time from one relationship to heal from it, and then they're going to the next. But a lot of people just jump around and then they wonder why stuff don't last, or they not getting nowhere, or they run into the wrong type of mate because it's not their soulmate, and they need to have patience. Like we are all supposed to have patience and date and be friends and then get into it, but not just jump right in it and leapfrog it. No. But at the same time, there's also other things that we might need time to heal from to be a better person in general. Now, we all need to go and work our day to day. We need to get our careers going. We need to do this and that, right? But we going through some trauma. We got to work through it. Those are the work through moments, right? But when it comes to dealing with someone and bringing them into your life, that's not a work through moment, because you're going to put that trauma onto that person. So you need that time to get adjusted, go seek God, seek that healing, seek out what it is you need to be that better person and become that person. And then you can go out and say, okay, I'm ready for somebody else to share my world and we can do this together. But we can't do nothing together if we are circling our heads with all this nonsense and it's making us dizzy, and then we over here causing earthquakes in a situation. No, we can't do that. So now what we do? What do you think?
And you know what? I know I'm not a fan of therapy, and I always tell people just because I'm not a fan of it don't mean I'm opposed to it. Like I'm not at all. My thing is I take your advice. I read the Bible.
Yeah.
I remember being down bad where it was like, come on, when is enough enough? Like at the relationship, at the kid, come on, man. When is enough enough? When I'm gonna get my roses? Because I know I'm good. And I know I can bring something to the table. So that's
so
what
sis, you gotta anything like any situation?
Yeah.
So you sis, you got any situation that you can bring up, like dealing with some
trauma, a childhood trauma, man. Wanting to be accepted, wanting to be loved, looking for that beginning, because it always seemed like it was an ending popping up. Where was the beginning? I was getting endings, like no more you. Dang, where's the beginning? Where's the start? Like, so that's a lot. Like you learn love as a kid, right? Don't people get excited on Christmas? Isn't that excitement on birthdays? I kept getting endings. So because I'm used to those endings, I'm not looking for nothing to last, because I'm looking at you like this is an end. Neglect. Come on now. Nothing lasts forever. I'm not getting a birthday cake with the icing on it and a beautiful.
So you would say that neglect is from
growing up.
Yeah.
That's and so if I bring that into a relationship, you know how that's going. You know how that's going. A person that
Mhm.
got neglect issues, come on, that's trust.
Yeah, exactly.
Love.
Exactly.
Come on, that's one of the
Mhm.
reasons why a person will probably keep jumping into something because they tired of getting left. So they're gonna always want to have something because they tired of not having nothing. If we take it right there as a kid growing up and not used to
So,
having
so,
something on.
so you think these people that jumped into those Diddy parties, they was going through neglect?
No,
They was
I think
neglected
those
and they
people
wanted to
that
be
was
accepted
jumping.
somewhere.
Nah. I think those people that were jumping into those parties, they wasn't worried about neglect issues. They wanted attention or they was being forced. That's what I think. I don't think they was worried about being
Yeah.
neglected. They made a decision. I tell people, no amount of money, you understand, is gonna make me let you choose
Mhm.
my fate. I could be down and out, but if that money got the evil price to pay to it, I don't want it. I do not want it. Everything not great that you accept. People will take $1 for anything. I remember at my job, sis, they thought because they was gonna give me a raise, and you thought you was gonna have my head. Nah, I know what come with that raise. The same thing that come with this pay right here. Then if I take that raise, I'ma owe you something. No, I'm sorry. I'm not all about this. And I know we need that to survive and go forward in this life, but I'm sorry. Everything with a price is not a great reward at the end. You heard? Not beat at all. No. But how
Yeah,
about this?
exactly.
You ready?
Now-
You ready to throw some salt in the
now
game?
What's up? What you said? Salt in the game?
Let's flip the switch a little bit. Let's flip the switch. So how about this? Is it fair to make somebody wait for you to heal?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know how to put that salt or season on that one. That's a good one.
Sauce queen, what you mean you don't know how? What the heck?
Because at the end of the day, if you started something with somebody, I know, right? No, I mean, like, if you putting a person through waiting on you to heal, y'all must be friends. Because I don't know what type of waiting they gonna do. I mean, if you're in a marriage, a committed marriage, it's from
no, I'm listening.
It's from good or bad to death do you apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, for a marriage, and the person is dealing with something, they are gonna have to deal with that because they married, they committed. If you're in a relationship, and let's say y'all been together for 6 months, a year, it's an early relationship. Now you do have a chance to say, okay, I can't deal with this. But is that fair to the person that you're dealing with? Now, what are you supposed to think about them? Well, you wasn't for me then. If you know what I'm saying, if this is not to deal with, or the fact that you start to see like things are being shown to you, like the signs. So I don't know. I don't know if they could really sit there and wait. I mean, you have that option, but are they really gonna wait for you to heal?
How about this?
We can work
if
through
a
this
person
together.
doing a long time in jail, right? They really waiting? No.
Yeah.
They living their life, and then when it's time for you to come out, they get back on track.
No.
But anyway, to that question, sis,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair because okay, so let me go back a little bit. It's not fair when it become an excuse for every time you get in an argument or every time you're going through something, you blame it on your past. If my mama wasn't a part of my life to teach me how to be a mom, or my dad wasn't a part of my life to teach me how to be a dad, or whatever, and I didn't have a role model, and then I become a parent, that is no excuse for me not to be a good parent to my children. You know why it's not an excuse? Because now I have a child. Now I am older. Now I am holding myself accountable. And now I knew what I was missing and lacking. And that don't mean go and keep buying all these Jordans, these name brand things and try to make up for it in that way. No, that just means, what are we? Wise, beautiful, and crazy? That just means we're wiser, we're smarter, so we're going to do it different. We're going to give that child time. We're going to do homework with that child. We're going to give our child a future. We're going to give saving bonds, trust. We're going to do it that way. I'm not going to clone the same thing that was done to me. No. And then if I'm in an argument with my man and I keep saying, well, I'm just not used to this, or he hurt me and I can't trust you. And like after a while, it's like, all right, when we gonna get over who he was? I'm not him. So baby girl, I'm gonna need you to see me for who I am. And if we put time in, so is it fair to make someone else wait for you to hear? Well, is it fair to yourself to keep putting yourself through these hurts instead of getting help? Is it fair to yourself? Because it's not fair to them. And then a guy that married or a woman that even accept that's still is wrong. I see that as wrong because that's not fair. That's selfish. Because after a while, you got to get tired. Yeah, you have to get tired and now, all right. How about this, sis? Now you messed with a cheater, or whatever you messed with, and you start seeing them signs, and it brings up trauma, like it gives you flashbacks of what used to happen. Then that's a question for you. Why you still with them? Or if somebody's still doing you like people used to do you before, and you got away from them people and you healed and you started over, and you see that you got different people in your life doing the same thing that other people used to do. The question to yourself is then why you put up with them? Why you tolerating them? If it falls like that.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
It starts with self.
That's true. But
now time to heal start with us.
It does start with self. But some people don't look at it like that.
No, you're right.
They don't even see that. They go through it. Yeah. But I mean, like, I wanted to talk about they have some trauma in the past. Going to church, seeing what was that? They see false prophets or false preachers. You know what I'm saying? And they went to a church, nothing was lined up right. And now we fast forward to present day, and they're like, oh, church is in the heart. I don't need to go to that building because I see what they do. They have business and try to take your money, blah, 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 blah. Like, you got trauma from people going to these churches back in the day, and whatever trauma they experienced from people who misled them. And they're the ones who's going to have to answer to God. But they misled them just like any human being mislead. And I always say, well, they not Jesus. They human just like we are. Jesus is the only person, a perfect person that walked on this earth. So at the end of the day, people won't even give church or going to a Christian type of congregation and gathering. They just give up altogether. So these people that throw their hands and give up, right? That's a trauma situation. Or you got people that throw their hands up and give up on a lot of things, and they just run off and do their own thing, and they don't even think about it no more. On God altogether over a misled church.
Yeah. I mean, I always let people know, the church is never about the building. That never gives me an excuse of why I shouldn't go. But pretty much I tell people, because starting out as a kid, I'm actually grateful. I feel like Solomon, when he asked God for wisdom, they came with understanding. I feel great. And then I go through moments where I feel like King David, where it was like I'm always constantly creating a clean heart. So when it comes to that, I'm always telling people right away, you worried about the wrong thing, because you didn't know at one point. So they don't know. And now I know. Now I'm awake. Now whatever was being taught in church by the messenger is making sense to me. Sunday school is making sense. Bible study is making sense, because this word is making sense. It's making sense now. People not understanding. They looking at the wrong things. You worried about the wrong people. You need to be praying for them. Now you have a chance to learn the right way, because guess what? We have resources. Today, we have resources. Before, it was limited. Today, you have resources. You don't have to take a person's word. You do not have to take a person's word. Now you can go look, study, and figure it out. So when we were smaller and our parents were growing up, them people that was giving that word, and God forgive me, I'm not putting my mouth on any of our leaders that were ordained to go forward. I promise you, I'm not that person. George Spinks
Mhm.
raised me right. But what I'm saying is they have to unlearn that behavior, them different doctrines and denominate. They have to
Mhm.
unlearn that and learn it the right way. Like you have some people that still stuck in the Old Testament and
Yeah.
don't even know the New Testament that made them new, because Yeshua came to erase not to erase the law that God gave to Moses, but he came for the forgiveness. He came and God started speaking to us again. Like that people don't even understand that. So even with church hurt, and I don't
Exactly.
say it's church hurt. Your people hurt. You're not church hurt. Your people hurt because God did not hurt you. God didn't let you down.
Mhm.
That was those
Mhm.
people with those ways. I remember
Mhm.
me and Ro used to be like, dang, they act like they talking about our skirts and stuff, but we young. We trying to do right. Your delivery, talk to me, come to me. If I'm in the I see the little girl dressing, even my little sister in the height, she dressing. I get it. You want to wear a crop top, blah, 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 blah. It's cool. Hey, look, you do got a nice shape, and I know you want to show it and you want to enjoy what you're wearing, but think about you. Just like when I was talking to my niece, you want that tattoo, but I need you to think about your future. See, that's how we should talk to encourage. I ain't saying that's not sugarcoating. That's meeting them where they're at. Them people was us like, why she wearing that? She all fresh, she all grown. Excuse you, I'm not being fresh, I'm not being grown. You don't even know my story. We got it hard already, and you making it harder. And this is an outlet for us to come to church. This is an outlet. We come in here to see our friends. We have it hard already. You don't have to talk to us like that. You can be nicer. Hey, come here. Next Sunday, try to wear something a little loose fitting,
Mhm.
Like, don't watch how you talk. You gonna run them out the church before they even get to the church. And that's the thing that I heard a person, even with the offerings. I got 100. Who don't have 100? Don't do that to them. Just give your offering, put it on, and you keep it moving. Don't make the next person feel bad. Or what about the sinner that's coming to get delivered? You worried about them and who they with? How about guiding them? And then if you go and pray for them, just pray for them. What it would say, make your request known unto God. You don't got to sit there and say, well, pray for Khadijah. She's sleeping around and then she got this man. And if your name Khadijah, I apologize. But this is my example.
Mhm.
She's sleeping with Johnny and and but just pray for her that her soul deliver. You don't have to do all that. That's why Khadijah don't want to show up no more, because you playing her. And then you got little Rocky. They pray for Rocky because he keep game plan. He can't get right. He got kids. That's not what you do. Just pray for Rocky's soul. You heard? Don't be doing all that. That's what they getting messed up as people delivery. They always put their mouth on something and they act like they ain't start somewhere before. You wasn't born saved. That's what they mess up at. They forget that they was that age at one time, that they battle with something.
Exactly. Now, that's church hurt, right? But then how about the people out here? I want to know what the people also think. Like, you got people out here that are weakened, right? I call them the weak spirit, weak mindset type of people, where they've been through something, they complain about what they've been through, they vent it out, whatever, or they try to mask it, and then you see them years later end up on some type of drugs and then make an excuse. Well, I didn't really have this growing up, or I went through this growing up, and I'm trying to mask these feelings and I just don't want to feel anything. I mean, what kind of people are they? Like, sis, they weak to a point that they want to go out here and do some crazy type of drugs that they can't get off of. Like, I know there's people out there, a lot of people, and it's not just crack, cocaine, dope, but there's other type of experimental drugs out here that people have done just to numb themselves from reality. But like, what do people need? What do they need to do in these situations? They make an excuse of.
I just feel like people should hold themselves accountable. I don't feel like numbing it is going to help you, because it's going to come back. It don't erase it. If I wanted to drink to ease the pain, what happens when I sober up? If I want to smoke to erase it at the moment, what happens when I come back down from that high? Like, it ain't. I used to what?
Exactly.
Smoke a Black and Mild. I'm upset. I'm all jittery. I'm about to smoke a Black and Mild. And I'm smoking
Mm-hmm.
and I'm playing my crossword. I'm surfing the web. But when I'm done, that Black and Mild didn't pay the rent that I couldn't pay. It didn't buy my
That's the
kids
problem.
clothes that I couldn't
Yes,
afford it. It
exactly.
didn't take over this
Exactly.
numb heart, broken heart that I had. It didn't do nothing but just cause my
Mhm.
health to have problems and to mess with my asthma. So no, I don't think numbing it would have. And sure, I had a shopping problem too. So, the only person that was upset was me when I was like, dang, if I ain't spend that $7 at the mall, I probably could have had that knowing that insurance and stuff, irresponsible spending. Yeah, so no.
Mhm.
No, I don't like substances numbing pain because that pain's still there after that substance wear off. And look, some people are in the worst of worst areas where that breakdown is serious. And I always urge the person, when you get in that low, get help. Get help.
Mhm.
Get help. I don't know what it is to feel like
Mhm.
personally what it is to go do a drug to try to erase the pain. However, I do know
Mhm.
what it is to be a victim of a person that did that.
Exactly.
And as
Me
being
too.
the victim of a
Exactly.
person of doing that, it don't feel good.
Mhm.
It don't feel
No, it
good,
don't.
especially as growing up to be an adult and then have some real life issues, and you try to figure out, well, why you do that? I didn't do that. I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
That you did that, and that took you away from me. If I do that, it's going to take me away from mine, and I don't want to go away from mine. So then, guess what that trauma is, sis? That trauma hurt me to know that they ain't
Mhm.
love me enough not to do that.
Mhm.
When I think of that,
Yeah.
I didn't take that route because they count on
Mhm.
me. Now I gotta think about, oh, you ain't love me enough not to do that. That hurt.
I don't really think it's that. I don't think it's not that they don't love you enough. It's a
It's
selfish
selfish.
act, and during that action, sometimes it's the drugs take over, or the
Sis,
alcohol,
love
whatever
is not
addiction.
selfish.
Addiction just takes over. Yeah, but if they have been abusing this and using this, right? It takes over everything in their mind process and thoughts and all that. And all they want to try to do is get to the next one and the next one. That's just how it go. And it's sad. It's not an excuse, but it's sad. It's that much of a beast that people have to check themselves into rehab. But guess what? They're not even thinking that there's a God out here that is going to clean them of all of that. They're not seeking God. The first thing they want to do is go to rehab. These rehabs are not God. I mean, they can clear you with whatever stuff or mechanisms that they do, or you get yourself locked up, go to jail, and then you have no choice but to be cleaned. Okay, and then you come back out and thinking, oh yeah, I'm fighting these demons, I'm good, and then they come right back in your face. That's because why? God's not the first person in this factor, and you're gonna always need to go back to that rehab. And then a person can end up die. I lost a cousin, overdose, been in rehab for so many years, like so many years, and it doesn't make sense. They not healed. That rehab is not healing them. So when you need that time to heal, where do you need to heal from? Like, where you need to heal at? Who you need to be going to the hill? God should be number one. A lot of people not thinking
Yeah.
that way. They
No.
think they need to go to the club with their friends, call their friends. That friend might be waiting for that phone call just to hear you going through something, because that's their
That
entertainment.
misery.
And
Yeah.
now they
It,
feel better
it
because
makes some
they're
people
not
feel
going through it.
bad to know that you down. I had a lot of people like that in my circle. When I'm winning, don't nobody want to be bothered with me. They don't even know.
No.
But the minute I'm down, man, I could just know them conversations. True. I'm telling you, it took time. It took prayer. Sis, I used to take this device right here, and I used to just be scrolling, and it's the same. I'm scrolling up, scrolling down, scrolling up, scrolling down, looking at the same numbers, and my phone was just still on the scrolling up and down. No, calling people for what? You ever told a story to different people and you got tired of hearing it?
I know I
It's
have.
like then
I
sometimes it's
know I
like the
had.
telephone
And that's
game.
the
It don't
most
even
saddest
sound
part
the
right
same.
there. That's
Yeah,
it's the saddest part.
yeah, exactly.
Like
But, mm,
you're not going to sit there and constantly pour yourself out talking about it exhausts you. After a while, you start thinking to yourself, like, you know what? I need to come up out of this. Like, I'm tired of hearing myself complain about it. I
girl,
need to start doing something about it.
for
So
real.
a lot of people, when they need that time to heal, they should be doing something. What is it that your purpose or what you really want to do in life? Stop putting it in dead people and dead things. Stop running around to these certain places, people, and things. Start running. Either you got to run to God, number one. Start running to God. Start seeing God. Read some scriptures. Pray about it. Fast about it, because there's some stronghold demons you need to fast about it for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of things that people need to start doing. They're not. They're just
Yeah.
accepting their mess, and then they're going around and splattering the mess to everyone that they converse with. And instead of just going within themselves and getting that
Mm-hmm.
clarity and just soul searching and just coming out being the best person, say, yeah, I'm gonna start doing this to fight through it. I'm gonna start involving myself in this, do some community activity, do some volunteer, whatever, to make them feel better about themselves, go into that career mode, whatever it is, and shut everything else out. That's the
Yeah.
time to heal process.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking at it that way.
No. No.
We
Because
need to
in
know
the
what the
world
people
that's
think.
always
We need to
in
know
the
what the people
world,
think. Like,
yeah. Because in the world that's always rushing us to move
mm,
and not get over it, we have to remember that healing is our right. It's not a race. So you rushing for
exactly.
what? What are you rushing? This is your life. That mess that guy you sent me on YouTube, that preacher, when he let us know, like, you people, we
Mhm.
rushing for what? You time. That's the only thing you can't get back. So why not make it the best? Everything else you could
Mhm.
get back. You lost that job, you get another one back. You didn't make, you can make more
Mhm.
money. You just choose not to do nothing about it. But time, bro, I can't be 25 again.
Mhm.
I can't have another
Mhm.
Malaya. I can't have another O'Shea. I can't have another Ebony. I don't care if I can have another kid, but I can't get that one back. So if I cannot get that one back, I got to work with what I have.
Mhm.
So why wouldn't I take the time to heal myself?
Yeah.
What type of life would I provide for me if
Mhm.
I'm stuck in my traumas? Wouldn't life be better if I healed? The best thing I
Mhm.
could have did was meet God and then have him meet me where I was at. That was the best thing that could have happened to me. The best thing was getting on my knees and praying. I'm telling you, I think I spoke to Carlos the other day. I knew I had deliverance, Coco. And I wasn't shouting. I wasn't jumping up and down and screaming. Because whenever I did that, I was battling myself. I was battling myself. When I would jump up and down, I'm in there shouting, da, 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 running back and forth and running around the church and doing, I was battling. I was fighting deliverance, you understand? But the minute I knew I was
Mhm.
delivered, I was curled up in that corner on my face
Mhm.
crying. You know why? Because I felt free. And it was a type of free I never felt before. That's
Mhm.
when I knew healing was in
Yeah,
effect.
and people don't even know that part. They think when people shouting in church or doing like you know what I'm saying, they and the Holy Spirit, they think oh, they just showing off for the church.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. They don't know.
I've seen
That's
it for
that's people
myself.
mind
I've
other people's business
experienced it.
because you need to be praising God with me. That's the
Mhm.
problem. That's why a sister can't uplift another sister and a brother can't see another brother grow because they worried
Yep.
about the wrong thing.
Yep.
And the
Exactly.
healing, you have to be healed from yourself. A time to
Definitely.
heal from yourself, so you won't be a
Mhm.
danger walking into society. Um, what is the word? Spreading
Walking
your
time bomb. A
you,
time
you
bomb.
there you go. You will heal
Yeah.
yourself, man.
Mhm.
Because if a person is possessive or toxic, all they're gonna do is bring it into the next home. Think about a mother or a dad that is verbally abusive. All you
Mhm.
doing is raising that child up to be the same way.
Mhm. Exactly.
All you're doing.
How they
But
doing?
think about a parent that is, encouraging, motivating, hardworking. Guess what you're raising?
Mhm.
You're raising the same thing. But I know the Bible, what it said in Ephesians about training up a child the way that they should go. Because when that child becomes of age and is capable of thinking for themselves, whatever they do outside that household, they did on their own.
Yeah.
But when I raised you, I know what I did. I know what I did. But other than that, time to heal, you have to heal yourself. You have to heal yourself.
Yeah.
You have to heal yourself. It's no way. It's no way. If me and you had a beef, if we had a beef, right? And people was like, but I like how y'all work together on Wise Crazy and Wise Beautiful and Crazy. That's cool that they like that, but I don't think we would be able to do this if we was beefing. Unless if I had a problem with myself and I'm like, oh, jealous of you, my sister. Oh, look at my sister. She and I'm gonna be throwing shade and making faces the whole. I would have I gotta fix me. I wouldn't be able to do this with you.
Yeah.
I'm toxic. You cannot.
So a lot of times we do got to figure out ourselves. We got to figure out our mental and tune in and lock into that, because at the end of the day, ain't no healing process taking place if you're not tuned into yourself. So to get into yourself, that's why I said the spiritual aspect works, because if you're not looking at it like that, then you're lost. You just lost in the sauce.
Yeah, don't nobody want to be lost out here. It's too much going on right now. Try to be lost. You be lost out here, you might as well just give it up. Don't walk around here being lost. It's too much at stake right here to be lost. This is not the time to be lost. Not the time. It's so much going on in this world right now that they try to distract us with Diddy. Really? It's bigger. It's a war going on in the Middle East, and they distracting us with Diddy. Really?
Exactly.
We got an election going on and it's not even making sense. November 5th. I hope y'all know who y'all voting for. And don't just be voting for people because you think is making history. That understand what's going on. Understand what's going on.
It's making history in itself, but exactly. Don't just vote just because of what you hear and see on the media.
Do your research
because you did exactly what sis said.
We have you parents out here. You have children. You understand? You have children. You better make it make sense. And
this is traumatizing too. These are traumatizing situations right now as it is. We need time to heal from.
I remember I used to vote because my grandmother and my mother kept saying, you better go vote, you better go vote. And I wasn't even registered to vote where I lived. I was registered to vote at my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
So I was making it count because I'm registered to vote where she, and then, they told, I didn't even know. I'm like, Grandma, well, who running? Like, I watch a debate sometimes. I love a good argument, but it was, it was all right. But now,
I went to a Christian school where they actually set up the voting polls for us children to vote. And it was like a mock voting session for all of us to go into a room and vote. I literally was like, what do we need to do this for as kids? It's not counting, but you literally got a mock voting session.
That's what I did. I was that was one of my specialties, working, training people. I got my first opportunity at an IHOP being the trainer. And one of the techniques I was doing was the mock training. That was one of the techniques. And I took that with me to every job that wanted me to do the training. Because I felt like that's how people learn. You could sit them in front of a computer and make them watch a bunch of HR videos and then put them with a person that's not even going really, see that potential and make sure they're helping that person to the best of their ability. They're just using them to make their job easier. So that's where I came in. I'll be your designated trainer. You know why? Because that's what I love to do. So it was all mock trials. Like, I'm gonna set it up like this. I want you to do that, read it back, whatever the job was. Give me them. I'll train them. Because at the end of the day, you're left with me, so it's gonna get done right. Because you have so much to blame. Like you put, Ebony was,
Well, sis, what I hope we doing is training people on learning how to heal. Because at the end of the day, this right now, what we talking about, time to heal. I don't think people even understand the concept of time itself. But I hope people are learning today how you need to heal. Get all the nonsense and all the clout out the air. Separate yourself sometimes. You need that time, definitely. But we out of time right now. But everybody need to come on in and They need to talk about it, and they need to put their input in this, because
Yeah.
we definitely want to hear what people got to say. We
And
might
for
be
my Bible readers, check
wrong.
out Isaiah chapter 41. Check
Yeah.
out Isaiah chapter 41 and highlight verse 10 and 11. But yeah,
Exactly.
like you said, time is of the essence. Don't play with your life. Love you so you can express that love to others. Until next time.
Until next time.
Where have you been?